It may be hard to believe, but in the red-hot housing market of the Bay Area, there are some homeowners who may lose money when they sell their homes. We're talking about the tens of thousands of mobile homeowners and the sudden squeeze they're feeling from the corporation that owns the land beneath their homes.
Well, I'll tell you how it happened.
4 years ago, retired law professor Herb Rossman got the shock of his life.
And it was our yearly letter telling us about the increase.
He and his wife, Anita, are homeowners in Santa Cruz, but they also have a landlord.
Well, I read it through, and, it didn't register.
Because their house is a mobile home, they only own the structure, not the land where it sits. For that, they pay rent.
Yeah, I got to the end of the letter, and I, did a double take. They said that the market rent on our space here would be $5,000 a month.
$5,000 for this, a 70-foot long patch of dirt. It was more than 5 times what they were paying. What's worse, it would make it extraordinarily difficult to sell. The value of their home was climbing. Or was it the value of the land? The tug of war over that profit would tear this neighborhood apart.
Yes, I am angry.
It's a feeling of total devastation. This was my nest egg. This was all I had.
I got Social Security and a small pension. Come on, all my money's invested into my home.
The landlord for their patches of dirt is a company chaired by this man, billionaire Sam Zell, 247th on Forbes magazine's most recent list of the world's wealthiest people.
The name of the game is you got to own assets and you got to own real estate.
Zell's known as the nation's biggest landlord. His company holds interest in Bay Area landmarks, like the San Francisco Ferry Building, San Jose's Skyport Center, Walnut Creek's Treat Towers, largest owner of mobile home parks in the country. Manufactured Home Communities, or MHC, owns land under mobile homes in Santa Cruz, Monterey, and across the Bay Area from San Jose to San Rafael. MHC wants to cash in on the rising values of mobile homes. So where there's no rent control, there are rent increases of up to 68%.
My husband just had open heart surgery. I said, what are we going to do here? We've got thousands and thousands of dollars of bills to pay.
And where there is rent control, MHC sues, which is exactly what they did in Santa Cruz.
They filed this federal suit challenging the rent control ordinance.
George Kovacevic defended Santa Cruz against MHC for 2 years. The city's legal bills soared. Eventually, Santa Cruz had to weigh the interest of just a few hundred people against the enormous costs of fighting further.
You got to kind of enter that into the equation of, is this a disproportionate expenditure of funds?
Santa Cruz agreed to a settlement that will keep MHC from charging that $5,000 rent until the Rossmans sell their home. But MHC is still looking for big profits in other places, using its vast resources to wage legal war on cities often hampered by budget trouble. How long have you lived here?
16 years, coming November.
Like it?
Very much.
Now homeowners in another Bay Area community are counting on their city to stand between them and MHC.
The owners want too big a piece of the pie.
Tineke Kohlenbrander bought her mobile home in San Rafael's Contempo Marin neighborhood. It was supposed to be her nest egg, a place to live for the rest of her life. But MHC has sued San Rafael, and if they're able to break the city's rent control rules for Contempo, rents could double. She and many of her neighbors will be priced out. Young families like single mom Khadijah Gallagher will have to move. What are you afraid of is going to happen?
If the rent go up, it's going to be hard for me. Even now, I'm struggling every month.
Khadijah may not even be able to sell to get away, because who will buy these homes knowing they'll have to pay these rents? People selling now are struggling to find buyers.
If the owners win their case with the city, they sort of draw all the equity out of the homes. Then we can never sell it.
Tineke asked an MHC executive if that bothered him.
He said he didn't have a sleepless night. He only had a sleepless night if he had eaten something wrong.
We tried to ask Sam Zell if his company was taking equity that belonged to homeowners, but he canceled our interview. When we caught up with him at a conference in Beverly Hills, he warned us if we brought up the issue, he was gone.
Okay, if you start that subject, I won't play.
No one else from MHC would talk on camera either. Zell's lawyer tells us the equity is attached to the land and therefore belongs to the company, and that homeowners can't claim that equity lies in their homes. San Rafael hired attorney Michael von Lohenfeld to defend its rent control. He says the city believes the value of that equity should be shared.
The landlord gets a fair return on their investment. And that's frankly all that I think that they should get in terms of fairness. And the homeowner gets a fair chance to sell their home for more than they bought it for, just like anybody else that owns a home.
And that's a wrenching balance for Tinica and the Rossmans, who now find themselves torn between the two strongest forces in America, owning a piece of it and maximizing its wealth.
They acted very imperiously, very high-handedly. Basically, they told us, you know, this is our place, and as far as you having any equity, you don't have any equity. All the equity here belongs to us.
Home is where the heart is, and large faceless corporations don't have hearts.
If you're wondering why homeowners just don't move their houses when rents go up, modern mobile homes really aren't very mobile once they're set in place. In the meantime, tenants got some help last month when the U.S. Supreme Court upheld the rights of local governments to set rent controls for places like mobile home parks.